So the Shanghai Masters coming up, big tournament early in the season. I want to ask you first about winning the Shanghai Masters back in 2010. Great moment for you. What are your big memories from that tournament?
Yeah, it's always been a great event on the calendar, and now it's even more prestigious being a top 16 event. Yeah, I mean it's 15, coming on 15 years ago now, so quite a long time ago. All I can remember is having a rather eventful flight on the way over with Sean Murphy, drinking a little bit too much, and yeah, I felt absolutely awful for 2 days. Didn't come out of my room, but somehow I managed to be the last man standing at the end of the week, so that was good.
Maybe that's the secret.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I was obviously going through some different bits in my life at the time, and yeah, I let my hair down a bit too much on the plane, and yeah, I was in all sorts of trouble, and yeah, we ended up picking up the trophy at the end of the week, which is a unbelievable thing, really, and yeah, great memory.
And looking back at the draw, and you had some really tough games on the way there. You beat you beat Mark Selby in the semis, you beat Matthew Stevens, Stuart Bingham. It was a really tough route to the final.
Yeah, I think I played really well against Selby in the semis, was 2-0 down, won 6-2, and then I believe I beat Matthew 5-4 on the black. Yeah, knocked in an unbelievable black all the way down the cushion up into the yellow pocket. So yeah, it was my name was obviously on the trophy from the flight to the very end.
And having beaten those really good players to beat to the final, then in the final you played Jamie Burnett, which was a match that I think everybody would have expected you to win that, including yourself. But does that bring in a different type of pressure when you're expected to win?
Absolutely. You know, it felt like you know, it was everything to lose rather than everything to gain. Obviously, that's only a mindset, but obviously Jamie had played well all week, and we had a scrappy, bitty match in the final. I think I can remember the conditions were playing very tough. It was very humid and hot. The table was very sticky. But yeah, obviously delighted to get the win. I mean, look, any final you win is going to be a good win, and probably, arguably, I was obviously heavy favourite to win, and that puts the pressure. But then Jamie probably didn't have the pressure because he was obviously second favourite. So you know, it sort of works both ways in a way. But obviously, when you're playing, you can only see it from your own perspective because you're the only person feeling the pressures.
And at the time, that was your second ranking title. I mean, that must have been a great feeling.
Absolutely, and I think it was only a year after I won my first, so didn't have a particularly long wait. Then the success started coming really after that, quite thick and fast. It dried up a bit after I got ill. I know I won in China again, the World Open. But yeah, to get back in the top 16 at this late stage of my career, and you know, I've had 3 or 4 finals and a win in the last sort of 18 months. So, you know, I'm delighted.
And just talking generally about Shanghai, it's a historic event. I think it was first stage in 2007, so it's now the longest running Chinese event. How do you feel about going there? It's a great city, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I always love Shanghai. It's one of my favourite places to go in China. We always enjoy it. I've got a good friend that lives out there, looks after me when I'm there. You know, so I'm really looking forward to the trip. It's not long now, next week, so yeah, looking forward to it.
And shortly after that one, we've got a new event in China, in Xi'an.
Yeah.
We've got, I think, 4 ranking events at least in China this season. I mean, how much do you enjoy going to different places and travelling around China?
Yeah, obviously certain events are, you know, are more favourable than others depending on the location in China. But they're all big events and they're great events to be involved in. Obviously, I really enjoyed the Wuhan Open. That was a great place, Wuhan, really, really great city. Obviously, Shanghai, when we go to Beijing. I've heard a lot about Xi'an. I think it's a great city. So that'll be a really big event and I'm looking forward to it.
And you mentioned getting back into the top 16, you know, like well inside the top 16, I think you're maybe number 10 at the moment. That brings so many spin-offs, doesn't it? When we think about Shanghai Masters, the Masters itself, you're seeded into so many ranking events now, the UK, the World, Saudi, the home nations this season. It's so important to be in that bracket, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. To get back in the top 16 really is, in this stage of my career, is the right time to be back in there. You know, like you said, with all the spin-offs, the Saudi event coming in on the same format as the World, being one of the big majors again, you know, to be in last 32. And that's what, you know, some players don't like that, but they wouldn't be saying that if they was in the top 16. That's what we all try to aspire to get to the top, to get the benefits of being at the top. And long may they continue.
And you've had, as you said, very consistent couple of seasons, won the German Masters, a few other finals, semi-finals. How are you feeling about your game going into the new season?
Absolutely, I'm feeling really good. You know, I'm where I want to be in the rankings. I'm still working hard on my game. I'm enjoying it. Had a lot of good practice matches at the Championship League, which is good. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the season and going to try and continue where I left off last year. I know it's always difficult year on year, but you know, the stronger position you're in, the easier it is to perform. So you know, as long as I can maintain my top 16, keep moving forward, top 8 is my goal. You know, looking forward to keep pushing, and we'll see where it goes.
And winning more tournaments, I guess that's probably the biggest goal at the start of every season.
Of course it is, like to pick up some more trophies, you know, but as long as I'm competing and getting down to late stages of events all the time, then there'll be a win round the corner, and that's all you can hope to do. You know, sometimes it's so tough to win events. We know that. I've already chalked 5 or 6 up on the board. You know, hopefully I can get to, it'd be nice if I could get to 10 before I retire.
And looking back on the Crucible at the end of last season, I know you went there with a lot of confidence. You just ran into Stephen Maguire, who was like, you know, coming out of the qualifiers, buzzing. He was kind of back on an upward curve. It was a tough first round draw, wasn't it, and a tough game?
Arguably, probably the toughest first round draw. I can probably only look at it from my own perspective. I probably put too much pressure on myself. My preparation wasn't nothing wrong with it at the time, but looking back, it wasn't as good as what it should have been. So, and again, I've run into a great player in Stephen, and we had a good match really, and. You know, he had a bit of luck in the middle. I wilted a little bit, and then obviously it doesn't take much to go wrong for it to go wrong. And disappointed, obviously, to exit first round. But looking at the positives, I've got no ranking points coming off for the next 2 years after the World. So if I can, you know, sooner or later, I will have a good run in the World or the UK, and then there are all the points to go on.
And just going back to, you know, snooker's growing as a global sport, of course, travelling across China. We've also got the first ever world ranking event in Saudi Arabia coming up. At the end of August. You played in the World Masters of Snooker in Riyadh in March. How much did you enjoy that experience? Oh,
it was a great event. We was looked after, you know. It's only a 6-hour flight. It's not like going over the other side of the world to China. The hotel was amazing, and it was warm and nice, and yeah, it was a great event to be involved in, and I hope I'm involved in the next one. Saudi, the ranking event, is a massive event, big prize money. All to play for. Everyone's got an opportunity. They're taking all the 144 tour players out there to play. You know, the top 16 are seeded through to round 5, which is good for me. It makes it a last 32 event, and it's going to be a massive event for everyone involved. And I hope I can have a good run there.
Yeah, and the prize money is huge. I mean, it's going to be the biggest prize money of any event other than the World Championship. Mm-hmm. How do you think it's going to feel going over and playing in a tournament with that much money? There's going to be a lot of pressure out there.
Of course there is, and everyone's under the pressure. You know, we all want to win and provide for our families and earn as much money as possible. That's arguably what we're playing the game to do. Obviously, the Riyadh Masters, that was we were playing for loads of money there and loads of pressure. So it's it's the same old thing every year on year. The prizes get bigger, the pressure gets more. But hopefully I've got the tools to be able to deal with that, and you know, make things good for myself and my family.
And looking to the future, would you like to see snooker growing in the Middle East and maybe having more tournaments there?
Absolutely, of course. You know, look, I'm a snooker player. I don't care where the events are. If they're good and you know, there's big money to be played for, they look after us, nice hotels, we'll go anywhere in the world. You know, that's what you aspire to as a top 16 player, to travel the world playing the sport you love and get the benefits and earn as much money as you can doing it.
And just finally, when we all went out to Riyadh for the first time in March, it was great to meet the people who were there, wasn't it? And just see people so enthusiastic about snooker.
Absolutely. I met some great people in the hotel. You know, it was great. It was a great venue, great event, and it had a real buzz about it. I think the right man probably won it. For Ronnie to win it was good for us in a way, because you know, he's the sort of flag bearer of the sport, and that's such a unique event. It got so much publicity, and that's why we've probably got a ranking event out there now.
Thanks, Ali, and good luck for the new season.
Thank you. So.